Oh, Juju, Babu, Jesus, you. So I cannot continue in this mode because NEPA people is going to make a mess of me if I don't shoot this video. How are you guys? How are you doing? I posted my last video and I didn't get so many views. This is the point where I feel like maybe I should just give up. But no, I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep pushing because I feel like these videos are going to be a testament to posterity with time. This is to anybody who is trying to make content on YouTube and it feels like nobody's watching your videos. You come back after like 20 hours and you're seeing 4 views. Don't worry, relax. I've been there. It's okay. They're not going to watch now, but soon they will, especially if your content has so much value. So let's begin with the conversations for today. What am I talking about? Can you guess? I have it scripted this time. You know, most times I always come out here unscripted and the video gets long. Please pardon the noise you're hearing outside. I don't know if my mic is capturing the noise, but if you can hear it, forgive me. My house is just by the road. So, like I said, on today's episode of Pillow Talk Diaries, I have my conversations slightly scripted and I'm going to be speaking from a lived experience. Let's have a proper conversation. Why did I leave my 9-to-5 job and what are the lessons I have learned since leaving my 9-to-5 job? Well, for starters, I left my 9-to-5 job because I got tired of the toxicity. It was really toxic. Now, don't get me wrong, every workplace has its toxic sides. I want to believe that every office, every company, every organization, whether it's a multinational or a local or indigenous company, whatever, they have their toxic sides. But why did I leave mine? I left, like I said, I left because it was toxic. And like I said earlier, every office, every company has their own toxic sides. So it depends on how much toxins you can take. And for someone like me who actually prioritizes mental health, I do. It was getting to me. It was really getting to me. I don't want to spill the whole beans here. For some reasons, maybe not immediately. I might spill the beans later, like the exact reasons why I left. But for now, let's just go with the umbrella word. It was toxic and I couldn't take it and I had to resign. A whole lot of things built up until when I resigned, and yeah. So let's just say right now, I cannot actually walk into that company and ask for a reference letter or comfortably go and see some people I deem to be my friends, given the way I resigned, given the way I left. Not that I was a bad employee, but like I said, there are some things that led to the whole me resigning. Hidden, I don't know what to describe it as. There were some hidden propagandas that I didn't want to fall for. So it was toxic. It was really toxic. A situation whereby you're walking on eggshells, you're really not doing anything to hurt anybody or to even slow down the productivity or operations of the company. But for some reason you're hated. Like, not like hatred per se, but some people just don't like you. So they didn't just like me. I'm looking for the perfect word, so I don't exaggerate things. I'm looking for the perfect word, really. Okay, let me put it this way. People hated me for my aura. They didn't like my aura. I don't know whatever perception they had of me, and I don't know what aura I was giving. Like, I don't know the definition of the aura they perceived of me. I think that's the best way to put it. I don't know the definition of the aura they perceived of me, so they didn't like what they were perceiving and they projected their insecurities onto me. I've noticed something about myself. Each time I go into a place, I'm always noticeable. I might not notice you, but there's every chance that you're going to place my face even after I leave that room. Even if it's just once you saw me, you're always going to remember my face. So I know that about myself. So when I got into the company, everybody just knew that, oh, there's somebody here. She's new, but I mean, there's somebody here. It's not everybody that comes into a company that is new that people notice. It takes some time. Oh, you're working here. I didn't know you were working here. I didn't know you were working here. Oh, wow. How long have you been here? I've been here for 3 months. Really? Wow. But for me, that's not the case. Once I stepped in, everybody knew I was in. And it was a problem. From my dressing to my mannerisms to everything, mannerisms to everything. I feel like a lot of people had problems with my aura. Attracted so much, and that was why I attracted so much negative projections, and it was toxic. So very. That's why I left. I couldn't condone that. I couldn't. That's why I left. I couldn't condone that. I couldn't condone that, to be honest. My 9 to 5, leaving, there was nothing I had 9 to 5 that I had to fall There was back nothing on. I just had that my business House of Bogan. I just had my business House of Bogan, and where I celebratory events. Weddings, so not like celebratory events. So it's not like Shell or Chevron work waiting for me to go jump into. Because most times waiting for me to go jump into. Because most times they have a job or an offer. They have waiting for them job multinational or an offer. I mean, waiting for them in a multinational. They've been resigning. I mean, there's a job I've seen. But for me, it wasn't that. There's a job waiting for them, but for me, it wasn't that. Nothing. That was waiting for me. Absolutely. So I just left with waiting for me. So I just left. I'm gonna survive. I'm gonna survive, and I'm gonna live. I'm gonna breathe. And that was and it. I'm gonna leave. I'm really grateful I left. I'm really grateful I left. My head. I always cry every day. My head. I always cry every day I go to work. Every single day I go to work. Each time I wake up, every single day I go to work. Each time I wake up again and I'm going to this place, oh my God, I'm awake again. That's how I felt. This place while working there. That's how I felt. When a company's environment does not give you that space to shine, to thrive, to be yourself, it becomes a problem. It has to be flexible, especially when it's an indigenous company. But for them, it was like, oh, she's doing too much. She's always everywhere. She's intimidating people with her dressing. She's always like, relax. It's not that deep. I think that's life, and I had to move on from that. So all of this is to say, it was toxic, and that is a good reason to leave your job. Please see, do not let anybody make you think that, oh, because there is no place that is good, there is no place that is good, so you now stay there and take rubbish, and at the end of the day you go mad. Like, you're literally going mad. Don't do that to yourself. If where you're working is not mentally okay for you, if where you're working is threatening you mentally and messing with your emotions, I think it's a valid reason for you to leave the place. You don't have to be there. Truth be told, you're going to survive either way, whether with the job or without the job. So you choose your demons. I chose mine, and I'm living with it, and I'm happy, like really, really happy. I don't regret it, and I'm moving on to better things. Like, I'm moving on to exploring other parts of myself I didn't even know existed. So yeah, do that and thank me later. So you would ask, what are the lessons you have learned since you left your 9 to 5? Well, for starters, God does not give you the full picture. It just gives you the next step, the instruction. It can be wait, it can be leave, it can be anything. I have learned to move even when I don't see the full picture. Truth of the matter is, if God shows you the full picture, you would be lazy. You wouldn't want to work, you wouldn't want to put in an effort, because you already know where you're going, you already know your destination before your journey began or before your journey begins. So he hides that full picture from us just so that we can trust the process and move when we are supposed to move. So I have learned to move even when I don't understand what is going on. I don't understand why God will say leave your job or leave that place or don't do this, don't do that. You have no idea how indecisive it was for me to tender my resignation. It was a dilemma for me. I was torn in between, should I not? I mean, I had valid reasons why I should. Plus, there was the whole God factor telling me to leave my job. And I cried. I cried. God knows I cried. Before I submitted that letter to the HR department, I crowed. I crowed. I don't even know what else to say, but I should have cried my tears out. But I've trusted God. I have been trusting God, and I'm still going to trust God. So that's one lesson I have learned. I have learned to move by faith, even when I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand the full picture. I just learned to take that leap of faith. Yeah. Number two, rest is part of the work. We are forced to believe that because you are productive, forming activity, waking up on Monday, going to work every day of the week, even on Saturday and Sundays, as was my case. Weekend, no be weekend. I don't even get social life. Like everything was just happening at the same time. I have learned that resting is part of work. Because you're not doing anything doesn't mean you're not working. Doesn't mean that you're not productive. I learned in this phase of my life of not working to slow down on my thinking, slow down on my productivity, slow down on a lot of things and build. Even if you're going slow, at least you're building daily, you're building capacity, you're building character, you're building strength, but then you are at rest. I have learned that this period. This quiet season is not something I take as punishment. I take it as a season of preparation, because coming from a place of a lot of activities, it doesn't define me that I am doing something purposeful. Because I was all about the whole place didn't mean that I was doing something purposeful. Now that I have dropped that ball, I am at rest and I'm still productive. You can't relate because you can't relate. But trust me, resting is part of the work. The third lesson I have learned since leaving my 9 to 5 is that creativity flows better when you are aligned. I stopped thinking of going to work and I started thinking about what I can do to better myself, what I can do to better my brand. I mean, I already own a brand. I plan weddings, I plan celebratory events. I started thinking of other things that I can do to project my brand out there and build something more timeless than just working for somebody. And working for somebody is not a bad idea. It just depends on where you're working. It depends on where you're working and what you're doing. If it is in line with your purpose for God's will for you, then I can say, okay, you're in the right place. But if you're just running round circles, that's not it. You're just being busy. You're not being purposeful. So I learned that creativity works best when you're aligned. This period, I have, looked deeply, reflected more, and I understand what I'm supposed to do for my brand and how to get my brand working for me. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I was still working at a 9 to 5. I wouldn't. There is no way I would have had the time, because you're going to work maybe on Monday, stressful. You're coming back, it's stressful. You want to rest. You're not even thinking of your business. You're thinking of how you want to wake up the next day and repeat the same thing again, over and over again. And that's a cycle for a lot of people, year in, year out. For creatives like us, that's a little bit dicey. You can't be doing that for the rest of your life. I can't be doing that. I can't work a 9 to 5. I'm not gonna lie. 9 to 5 is not meant for me. I'm not that person. I am a creative. I like to work with my brain. I like to work with my hands. I like to walk around, like use my legs. Sitting in one place and just with my rolling around the computer is not my life. That's not what creatives do, right? So yeah, that's lesson number 3. Another lesson I have learned during this period is that God provides. Either ways, whether you're working or you're not working, God provides. I am telling you, I didn't know it was even possible to live outside a salary. I didn't know it was possible to live off a salary until I resigned. I didn't know that I can actually stay without an income coming in and I'm still eating. I'm still going out. Maybe if I want to step out to buy a few things, I see money in my purse as transport and I'm moving around. I just thought I had to work before I eat. Yes, don't get me wrong, you have to work before you eat. But there is a season in your life where you know that you are sort of incapacitated, like sort of, and you can't help yourself at that moment. And you see God coming through for you. I am a testament to that. I've seen God provide. I've seen the word of God come alive in my life, where the Bible said, don't be anxious for anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, make your requests known to God. And that if the lilies, they don't work, they don't toil, but they are that beautiful and they are dressed. Even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed as one of those. Then why are you, a full human being, thinking of what to eat, what to wear, what to drink? Don't you know that you are more valuable than the sparrows and the lilies? I've seen that part of God working for me. Somehow, God provides the funds for what He ordains, right? So if God has called you to do one or two things, He will always fund it. All you have to do is move. I'm in that place where sometimes I find it hard to believe that actually God is looking after me, but He does, regardless. He does. Even when my faith is as tiny as what it is, He still does care about me. And He does care about you too, only if you let Him. So don't fret. There is always provision. Whether you are having a 9 to 5, you just resigned, you're starting a business, don't worry. Relax. The Lord is your shepherd, and you will not lack. You will not want. You will not be stranded. Chikina. So another lesson I have learned since I left my 9 to 5 is that I am becoming, I am evolving, and that's okay. You are dead when you stop growing, when you stop learning. You are considered dead, like literally and figuratively, you're considered dead. So if you see anybody that is forming in character, in career, in whatever way or form, you're seeing that there are changes in that person is evolving, that person is growing. And if you're watching that, so should you. Because at the end of the day, that person will keep those tiny changes you're noticing is bringing forth good fruits that will keep him at the top later. And you that has not been putting in the work, you will not think the person is doing juju. But you were there when the person started. You were there when the person evolved. You were seeing the changes. You were seeing how the person was learning, unlearning, relearning. And you were like, this person is just... You didn't do anything about yourself. You're not reading books. You're not attending conferences. You're not watching any useful YouTube videos that would help you mentally or even emotionally. Nothing. You were just looking as an onlooker, as a spectator. Growth is happening, whether you're seeing it or not. Growth is happening. So I am learning to stay faithful. I don't have to be there yet. I don't have to be, making the news yet. But definitely I will. I definitely will make the news. One day, I just have to stay faithful. And I'm becoming. And that's another lesson I have learned for myself since I left my 9 to 5 job. It's okay to become. Like, it's okay to gradually grow. It's like a butterfly in a caterpillar state. It can't stay a caterpillar forever. It would blossom to a beautiful butterfly soon. But it just takes time. So I'm at that phase, and it's not easy. I will not lie to you. Leaving my 9 to 5, starting a new business. By the way, I launched another business under House of Bogan. It's called Bogan Arts and Aesthetics. I make resin art pieces and soulful artsy creations that are mind-blowing. I launched that like last night. I don't know if that's a proper launch, but yeah, I just had to do something. I opened an Instagram handle for it, and yeah, I just think I've launched it. That's something I wouldn't have learned if I had not left my 9 to 5. I wouldn't have thought of other ways that I can be more productive to myself, more ways to make money. I wouldn't even be doing this YouTube thing if I did not leave my 9 to 5, because this is my first love. Broadcasting, talking on camera, this has always been a passion for me. But I couldn't just continue because I had a 9 to 5. I couldn't continue with my business at House of Bogan because I had a 9 to 5. In fact, in 2022, my business took the back seat, like it was obscure, like blackout. I had to tell myself, no, you can't be doing this. Let's just try and see if you can juggle your 9 to 5 job with your business. Well, I tried my best to the best of my capacity. But yeah, I'm out now, full-time, for event management, wedding planning, birthdays, and other celebratory events. I also make these resin art pieces, like I said, that can serve as wedding favors, souvenirs for your birthdays. Just hit me up. All you have to do is call me or text me. in any way, just communicate and let me know your needs, and I'll be of service to you. So yeah, this is me living my life as a free girl. This is just my life story. Like I said, it's a lived experience. Everybody has their experiences, and this is just mine. Thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk on YouTube. And I think I have to go now because the weather is weathering. Thank you for staying tuned to this very moment. I appreciate it. I don't take it for granted at all. So I'm looking at dropping 2 videos twice a week, like Wednesdays and Fridays. I don't know how that would be for me. I don't know how stressful that would be for me, seeing that I'm still trying to practice raising art pieces and trying to see how I can build my little brand. Let's see how that goes. If I can, I'll be doing that, dropping videos twice a week. That's on Wednesdays and Fridays. Thank you so much once again for watching to this very moment. It means you love me and I love you right back. Don't forget to subscribe. Please turn on your notification bell after subscribing so that you can always get notified of new videos, especially now that I am trying to make 2 videos per week. So yeah, thank you for watching. I love you, but Jesus loves you more.